What's good, everybody? How's it going? This is Leo. This right here is my guy Isaac. How's it going? Welcome to the Dynamic Minds.
Welcome, everybody. You know, we got a lot in store. We hope that you can learn something. We learn everything we're learning for you. You know, we try and make sure that we set ourselves up and put ourselves in the position to help you. So this is for you. Inevitably, you know, yes, it's for us, but at the end of the day, if it's not, it's for the viewers, it's for the listeners. We are Dynamic Minds, and we would like to welcome you to the Difference podcast.
Today we are going to be talking about atomic habits. All right. So if you don't know or do know already, atomic habits are pretty much compounded habits that create long-lasting effects in your life. With that being said, that could be either negative or positive, but that is completely up to you. Chapter 1. This is Atomic Habits by our guy Mr. James Clear. Let's go ahead and talk about Chapter 1. One of the things that we learned on Chapter 1. Honestly, Chapter 1 is pretty straightforward. Alright, so a team transforms into champions with tiny changes by the decisions they make. So just by transforming one little thing, right? For example, an airplane, for it to move a certain way, you know, or to go a certain direction, whether it be left or right, it does not need to go, you know, like a car, you don't necessarily have to steer all the way. You can just turn the steering column to slightly, like literally slightly to the left, and it'll impact the trajectory of the plane in the most.
So yeah, like going back to what you're saying, like we're the pilot of this plane that we call our life, and we move our plane in the most slightest directions where it almost seems like it doesn't even make a difference. In the long run, it's going to have pretty great effects, man. Effects that we probably would never have thought they would have had, good or bad, depending on the trajectory that we put ourselves in. So I think it's important to turn yourself in the right direction with these good habits that we start to implement, and try and steer off of the way from the bad ones, because there's a lot of like, say we're trying to get to Beijing, man, but there's this mountain. Oh, we want to go around it, you know? So we turn and we go around it, and we end up going somewhere else. We didn't even go back to the direction we're going in because of this obstacle in our way, you know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, even though there's these obstacles, we shouldn't let it distract us from the course that we're trying to follow, you know, the destination that we're trying to get to. To us, to everybody, it should be that this destination is everything, and that we're going to get there by all means necessary. Like, it's, even though this mountain got in the way, even though there's, like, let's say this patch of fog, can't really see, we find a way through it. Not literally, because if you probably do that in the plane, you die, but
that's true.
Figuratively, find a way to get through all of this so that it doesn't affect us and steer us off of our own path. It's important to stay in our way, you know, on the way that we believe in. But yeah, that just goes back to the book, man. You know, like habits, they're compound results that you accumulate through your daily actions, you know. I think that's a perfect point, man. What we're talking about earlier, habits, anything really, it's compound, and we're just going to build off of habits. If they're bad, we're building off of bad habits, and it's just going to lead to something that's going to continue this path. And the longer you do it, the harder it is to break, but we still got to understand we can break these habits, man. I'm just rambling now, but you know what?
No. Cool. You're making sense, because I actually do have a response for that, bro. I have this pendant. This is actually just a reminder, and I honestly don't even read it, but it just reminded me of what you said. And this actually says, the secret to change is to focus all your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. I believe that is the secret to change. I 100% believe that. It's all about your focus. You know, whatever it is that you get focused to, you will manifest more of that. So I mean, if you keep focusing on the bad habits, or you know what I mean, any minute detail, whether it be how you don't like doing it, but you're still thinking about the bad habits or focused on the bad habits, then that's how a person keep doing what they're doing. It's just, I guess you could say, in a way, not a lot of people know how to talk to themselves. Because think of a person that's trying to quit smoking cigarette. If you ask that person, Bob, stop smoking cigarette literally yesterday, you ask him today, hey Bob, you have any cigarettes? Bob will tell you, nah, I don't have any cigarettes. I stopped smoking yesterday. You know, I gotta stop smoking. It's my first day of not smoking. And you talk to, let's say, Duke, right? Same question. Hey Duke, you have any cigarettes? Duke will tell you straight up, I do not. I am not a smoker. So with that being said, it all comes back down to who do you believe you are? And I'm speaking on that like towards your bad habit. The excerpt where it says your outcome is a lagging measures of your habits, right? Your net worth is a lagging measures of your financial habits. Your weight is a lagging measures of your eating habits. How do you overcome or turn things around towards the whole lagging measures, right? And the way you do that is by pretty much just believing yourself to be whatever it is that you want to become. Because if you don't believe you could be that person, then what makes you think that you'll be that person when you wake up tomorrow? You feel me? There's really no guarantee. I mean, unless some magic voodoo shit happen and automatically. But honestly, from what I learned, like, it's not so much about what you get, it's about who you become. But before you can become whoever it is you strive to become, you first must believe you can become that person. And like what my pendant's saying, to focus all of your energy on being that person, as opposed to focusing your energy on the bad habits, which is the person you were. Because why would you stay focused on the person you were when you have so much potential to figure out the person you can become? And that's definitely the fundamentals on that.
It's all about the fundamentals. That's where everybody should start. That's why we're starting here on like this first chapter. Fundamentals, like what we were talking about earlier, what's most important is to have structure, because habits, even if the good ones, if you establish them, they're great. But at the same time, that's not what keeps the longevity of the vision or the goals that you have. You need some type of system that's going to continue to achieve these goals that you're trying to accomplish. Because if we achieve one goal and we stop there, who's to say that this next goal we're going to achieve is if it's guaranteed or not? It probably might not be. But if we have a structure to where, okay, we're setting this goal, but then we're thinking ahead, okay, after we do this, we've got to do that. I think that's the best way to do it, especially in this book. What it's talking about, I can't remember the term for it, but it's like a compound accomplishment, something like that. You're doing something, but in this, before you even finish doing this one thing, you tell yourself, okay, I'm going to do this, but right after I do this, I'm going to do that. So you already have it in your mind that you're going to do this after you do that.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, imagine, like, you're going to finish what you're going to do, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to sit down for a second, and I'll figure out what I'm going to do next. Well, in that time that you sit down, you're probably not even going to do something or do what you were going to do. So then at that point, it's like your flow is messed up. Your goals that you're trying to accomplish, it's slowed down, or an obstacle comes up, which is some type of distraction. Yeah, bro. That part of the book to me was good.
Bro, to
changing your goals,
to pretty much summarize that, bro, if you stay ready, you never gotta get ready. It's just thinking a little bit more advanced and a few steps forward, anticipating the movement. So in a way, it's like Fortnite, bro. You anticipate the movement. Are they gonna go left? Are they gonna go right? And the more you do it, the more you kind of just do it automatically. The more you don't have to think about doing a floor edit. The more you don't have to, switch your floors around or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? The more experience you have, the more you'll be able to just change your approach right then and then, because you don't necessarily always have to have a plan, but you definitely must be willing to adapt through the circumstances and just use whatever resources you have at your disposal, and definitely right on Fortnite, at least victory royale, that's the goal. So in life, you have to set goals, and that's the only way to grow, honestly. Is if you're not setting goals, then why are you even alive? If you're not aiming to become a better version of yourself, then why are you here? What's your calling? I know for a fact that each and every single individual on the planet, bro, has their own individual calling. We're all different, but we're all also the same at the same time. We all long for something. We all want to be someone. We all want to be, and if you don't want to be someone, you want to do something with your life at least. And if you don't, then, you're asking yourself, what's the meaning of life?
Percent, man. I think everybody needs to have some type of meaning. That's what keeps you going, Like for me, I have meaning doing this and helping others, because I know how tough it could be. I know you do as well. So in that, like, we our thing is we want people to like get hope, get motivation, maybe have somebody to like look forward to watching that's gonna help them grow. You know what I'm saying? It's all worth it, man, at the end.
Yeah, and speaking on our very first video ever, for me as well, bro, I know what it's like to not have somebody there. And not even so much not have somebody there, but being, you know, the way we are, as stubborn as we can be, not wanting help, even though we know we want it, but we don't want to say shit just because we don't want to be judged by other people. So a lot of the things that I learned towards why I felt the way that I felt, maybe it might be different for you. I mean, as opposed to, I'm pretty sure many people have figured that out, insecurities. As opposed to that, one of the reasons why I felt the way that I did was because I didn't really fuck with myself the way I do now. I didn't really care for myself the way I do now. As sad as this to say, I didn't really love myself the way I should. And it all started to change when I realized that there's only one me, there's only one Leomar, there's only one person that could do whatever it is that I want to do, and there's only one person with the same type of aspirations than me. So why not just give it a chance? Why not live and see what happens instead of trying to sabotage my life earlier on? Why not try, like, if I'm gonna die anyways in the end, why not fucking do something with the life I was given? And with that being said, I didn't want to just do something for myself. You know, speaking on the first video, again, going back to that, I know what it's like to not have nobody there, you know, to talk to motivate me. Like, if somebody was there to show me the books that I read now, I felt like I would have figured this shit out long ago and become the best version of myself already, instead of having to go through the process. But with that being said, I also do understand that there's a reason for this shit. You know what I mean? There's a reason why I had to go through the pain that I went through. There's a reason why I had to go through the rejections that I went through. You feel me? There's a reason why the relationship that I had at that time didn't work. And it's, you know, most of that is compounded back to the book to my life right now. All the choices I made, whether I was aware of it or not, gave me the life I have right now. The realization of that is the most important thing you could ever have, because that gives you control, that gives you meaning, that reminds you that if all the choices you made in the past is what makes your life what it is right now, what would happen if you make choices that you're aware of, moves that you know that if you make, you could potentially become more than what it is? It could potentially become just a podcast. It could potentially become more than a YouTube channel, more than this video. And quite frankly, we don't know what the limits is. It could be anything. You feel me? Like shit that haven't even been invented yet. Think about NFT. Who the fuck invents non-fungible token? Like, what the where did that come from? All of a sudden we're selling pictures now for hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Are you kidding me? That's crazy.
Bro, I just seen something about us. I seen like a vision. We're gonna have our podcast, man. Dynamic Minds. Me and you, we're gonna be sitting together, talking over a table, and what we're gonna be in arenas. We're not gonna be just recording live streams. We're gonna be in arenas with thousands of people, bro. And me and you are just sitting there. We're talking, and it's crazy, you know. There's people all around us. There's just all this energy, and we're just passing vibes, motivation, and knowledge, and inspiration.
I can feel it.
We're still gonna be, you know, streaming that stuff, but bro, Dynamic Minds, selling out staples.
Bro, we have a nigga with the iPhone 55 running around with us, bro, on fucking live stream, fucking just running around with us, bro. iPhone 55.
I just seen it, bro. I just seen it.
We fucking get out of our little shuttle bus, you feel me? And this motherfucker filming, and we on live on Twitch. We're live every fucking where. Instagram, Periscope, OnlyFans. Not play, but you get what I'm trying to say. Like, we finna be live everywhere else. And this is not just a feeling or a vision or a wish. This is a aspiration. This is like a goal. This is shit that already happened, that's already currently happening in that time. Maybe not this time, but it's happening at that time. That's what makes this shit so important, so crazy. It's the fact that it's already happening and we don't even know it yet, but these decisions we're making right now is what will lead to that. The actions we make, the moves we make, the decisions we make together, the way we build each other up, the sharing of mentality, bro. Like, kind of like what I did with you, you know, getting you that book, bro. Like, I knew it was gonna get you into a level that you wanted to be in. You know, maybe you didn't think you was in, but you've always been in it. Whether you knew it or not, you've been absorbing all these knowledge this whole entire time. That none of that shit went to waste. You just didn't, I guess you could say, think of a muscle, right? Bicep, tricep. You know, let's say I'm a dude that curls every fucking day, like 5 times out of the week, and, you know, does tricep shit like once a week. My bicep gonna be stronger than my tricep, period, because I train that. Same thing with like motivational speeches, you know, with books. We just gotta train it. You know, we trying to preach to the world, to the masses, everybody that's willing to listen, to anybody that wants to become better, have a better life, have a better relationship with your people. We're talking to you, definitely talking to you.
Anybody who cares to listen.
Or everybody, because I know everybody listening, feel me? All y'all listening. Whether you like this video or not, you still listening.
Bro, it's just like Russ said, you know what you hate about me? It's a reflection of what's wrong with you.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So if you don't like us, you don't like what we're saying, maybe that's a reflection about something that you don't like about yourself. We hope to shed the light on that. That you can have that realization and get on with it, you know?
Yeah. Speaking on that, that is something I learned from a book, and I actually did share this book with you a long time ago. I would say 2 years ago, 3 or maybe even 4 years ago. The 4 agreements. That is one of the first things. Pretty much whatever it is that you say to others, you pretty much say to yourself. You feel me? That's why it's very important to be impeccable with your words. That's one of the things that I would never forget, bro. Be impeccable with your words.
Here it is in the flesh and blood.
One of the fewest things I remember from the book, bro, is like one of the reasons why the be impeccable with your words part really stood out was because of this lady that was, the story goes, this lady, she was tired from work. She came home, she had a little daughter. Her little daughter was singing or screaming or whatever she was doing. Or she was trying to sing, you know, but she's like hella little. So the mom was like so mad, and she pretty much told, or tired, she pretty much told the little girl to shut up, that her voice not even that good. And then that little kid grew up hating her own voice because of what someone else, you know, told her. And in a way that's using your word as black magic. And this is exactly one of the things that how I see dynamic minds. We are good magic, white magic, the words we were speaking about. And that's exactly why, you know, you heard me earlier, 250,000 word, bro. I mean that, 250,000 word. Not taking less than that.
Nothing less, bro. And you know what? I just had something else that I've seen, bro. I see me and you, dude, sitting with Russ, smoking the fattest extendo Cuban you could ever find, bro. But you know why I see that? And it's crazy because, like, how is he not going to see this, bro? This podcast is going to be so big, and Russ is a big part of this podcast. How is he not going to hear about this eventually?
Facts.
And he's going to respect the hustle. He's going to see not just the grit and grind that we're going to be putting in, bro, but the substance that we bring, the things that make us different, that separate us from others, man. Russ is going to be like, nah, fuck with these fools. And then one day he's going to be commenting like, yo, this shit's lit. You guys, you know, like, right on, you guys, keep it up. Like, I love the content, you know, bro, like, I see that shit, dude. And then that's going to lead to, you know, Dendo Cuban with Russ.
Rolled by yours truly, you know what I'm saying? We out here.
Telling you, dude.
We're finna have a bonfire and fucking
I'm telling
shit
you,
up.
I don't see all this shit. Like, I feel like I see it for a reason, you know? Like, that's definitely gonna be us, man. Like, it already happened, like you said earlier. Like, we just gotta take the necessary steps to make it happen, to make it reality. Crazy, man.
So it's really up to us, man. Regardless of, you know, who comes and goes. And I feel like as long as we built off of that, the same type of vision, the same type of understanding towards what we're trying to do, I feel like we can manifest anything for me. And like you said on the first video too, highlighting on that, you know, one mind, more than enough, maximize one's own true potential, right? I'm rewording it differently, but that's practically what you said. But imagine what could happen when you use 2 minds, 3 minds, same type of mentality, same type of goal, different type of approach. And with those different type of approach, bringing them and making them into what they necessarily need to be in order for it to grow, that's when manifestation happens. For me, that's exactly why Isaac, bro, like I created, you know, the reminders and the notes. You know, I want y'all to just feel free to write down content, write down whatever the fuck y'all please. You feel me? Like, that's important because we're gonna do every single one of those videos or those ideas, but it's saying that we're all communicating, right? It is saying that we all have the same type of mentality, whether it be to a point or not, don't matter. But we're all striving for something, right? And more importantly, just like what we're trying to preach out there, we're striving to become the best version of ourselves. And I feel like that's just the most important part. Anybody in this group, it could be, it could be someone else. It could be the kids. It could be the dynamic kids. But as long as they're striving to become the best version of themselves, then they're successful, just like us. You and me, you feel me? Like, just like everybody that comes. We're going to be successful. There's just no doubt about it, because we're willing to, share mentality. We're willing to go above and beyond, to do whatever it takes in order for us to get there. Every little, going back to Atomic Habits, every little movement you make, every little move, every little action, all will compound to something. But you, regardless, right, you need to remember that regardless of what you do, compound effects will happen. If you do nothing, then the compounded effect of you not doing nothing will happen.
Exactly, bro. One thing I'm gonna read right here, it says, "You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems." So, like I was saying earlier, we make these goals, we may pass them, but if our system isn't meant to keep us going, then we're gonna fall every time. If our system is the bare minimum, then we're only gonna get the bare minimum done. We got to make sure that we have this system, this structure, foundation, whatever you want to call it, this base of where we're going to start and how we're going to do things, and have a game plan to accomplish everything in life. And it's throughout with everything. It's not just learning about life. It's, getting simple goals, tasks done. Okay, laundry. So I'm going to do laundry. Okay, right after that, I'm going to get the car washed. After that, on the way home, I'm picking up food. Compound these tasks, and it's your system that gets things done. And it gets them done in the most efficient way possible. If not, exactly. If not, dude, like, we're gonna set short-term goals. We're gonna settle, like, I'll do this later. Procrastinate it. Oh, we ran out of time. We can't get it done. Oh, hopefully tomorrow. Like, not good to live like that.
And it becomes a habit. Then you're gonna always keep doing tomorrow. Trust me, I've been doing the same thing, I would say, for 10 plus years. However long I've been wanting to start a YouTube channel, and I've had many of them, but however long have I been consistent with them? I would say probably 1 month out of my whole entire life, and that's because I didn't have a job and I didn't do nothing. But even then, my content was shit. I wasn't thinking about nobody but myself. Regardless of all that, that's why we're here now, building this foundation off of what I've learned from me, off of what we can manifest. That's why we're here. All I gotta do is cheers to the fact that I did not give up, that I'm still standing here and I'm still trying to make it. Regardless of the past decisions I made, all I know now is I can make better decisions. Learn from your L's, you can never lose, period. Without learning, you'll never grow. If everything in your life has just been given to you, it's not gonna feel the same way as when you attain it. If I was just given a car, I'm not gonna enjoy it as much if I had to work for it to go get that. So I believe that, us having to run all this, currently working our current job and trying to start this podcast / brand / anything and everything that this will ever be.
It's this movement, bro.
It's a movement, right? With us doing all that, and despite of the little adversities, of us having kids and a life, a family, in spite of all that, I really believe that we could turn this into something, and everything that we made, the decisions we made, whether you believe it or not, the reason for that is now.
I feel good, man. I think we're getting somewhere, And I like it because we're gonna be able to look back and see always what we can improve on and make this a more smoother experience for us, not only ourselves but for the viewers and listeners.
Right.
Believers, just like Russ said, I don't got fans, I got believers. Like, we want believers. Don't get me wrong, like, if you want to say fans, that's the same thing pretty much, but I consider believers people who believe in what we do, why we do it, and
compound
where we're gonna go with it, bro. Yep. So it's exciting, man. We're heading in the right direction.
All right, y'all. So thank you guys for watching Dynamic Minds episode 2, Atomic Mind. So we'll see how long of the chapter we're finna get into, but most likely we might just lower it down a little bit just to generally talk about the whole thing.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna do something to make sure that you're able to get this information in the best way possible. Efficiency, say we had a lot to say about every topic, but we want you guys to focus on the main points and to really understand that choices that we want you to make that will impact your life for the better.
And that's the dynamic goal. You seen what I did there?
Dynamic goal.
All right, y'all. Peace.
See.